Hi there, everybody. Welcome to my presentation about my portfolio, but more importantly, about me and what I bring to the table in a team setting and also just individually. So let's get started with me introducing myself as a person. So, my name's Dawson Franco. I'm a digital content creator. There's a picture of me. Um, and I know it's not listed here, but I'm actually based out of Hawaii. Um, and I am soon to be a graduate of Arizona State University for XUP, and I studied graphic information technology with a focus area of commercial videography and photography. And thankfully, throughout school, I was able to go and do stuff in person and get real world experience. So let's get into the projects that I worked on. Project number one was May Day. While working for Rice Street Business Association, we put on a community event virtually because of the pandemic. But we worked with four different schools, and they ranged from high schoolers to elementary schoolers to middle schoolers, and they were all based around different parts of the island. And you can see me and my co host right there. We are tired. That's because two of us were sharing the responsibility of being a photographer, a video editor, a videographer, and also the MCs and actors. So it's a 52-minute runtime. So we had a lot of multifaceted projects that needed to be edited separately, then put together into one big production. On site, I was responsible for videography, so handling our two cameras. Photography, I was mostly managing the lighting and just arranging the kids and making sure that we took a picture of each one of them because they needed to be in the video. And then scheduling. So, as far as schools went, we needed to jump through a lot of hoops in order to be able to see the kids, period, because of the pandemic's restrictions, and then just timing it out, as well as helping them practice. So, offsite editing, I handled majority of the time. As far as handoff went, in terms of putting it on television, Facebook, and YouTube, I also did that myself. And set design, so purchasing that green cloth you see back there, those plants, managing our outfits, as well as audio on site. Um, they that's all stuff that I managed. So we created mood boards to kind of demonstrate what it would look like. Um, I'm only familiar with some of the campuses we visited, but I was able to kind of come up with the time of day and what what was going to happen and lay it out for the client. Um, and so we also were responsible for recording the music. So three different songs sung by a local band. So they're covers, but that went really well. And additionally, we needed stock footage. It's just we don't have enough manpower to go around. And so I acquired story blocks for us to use and used drone footage, stock footage, and it really worked out well. Challenges and solutions. Scheduling for this was a nightmare. A lot of people don't respond, or, we're just busy. Um, but we made it through. Editing was hardware intensive, and that is because my MacBook, as powerful as it is not equipped to render and handle 52-minute videos. And so, why that note is right there, 2 hours, is because we had to do multiple takes and use multiple cameras and then sync it up with music later, which is a challenge, but we managed it, and those poor kids did such a good job. Overall, it was a great experience, and I'd love to do it again. For the next project, we're talking Kauai Pokeko, which is one of my favorite restaurants, and they needed new photos for social media and website use. And I took multiple photos of different dishes. I asked them what their most popular ones were and which ones they wanted to showcase, and those are the ones that you can see. It's kind of funny. People were staring at me weird because I was stepping on a stool in order to capture those pictures of the top down. And in a restaurant, there's not a lot that I can control in terms of lighting. So I brought a reflector and used different equipment in order to cast some of the shadows in a different way, because it is mostly a glass building and it was really hard to work with at first. So, yep, set up an execution. I handled that, but then I also did mood boards, sketches, and mock-ups for them to see prior to taking the photos. Coupled in the same project is Dark Horse Coffee Roasters. I did pretty much the same thing, um, the social media photos and website use. This is more difficult because of the shade and casting shadows, but I think it really panned out and the client really enjoyed it later on. I almost dropped that glass, and it was overall a really fun experience, and I'd love to do it again. They have very pretty drinks and very nice glassware. So, I mean, honestly, the drinks really stood their own. For my next project, I want to talk about the downtown Lihue night market. And this was a really good experience in event photography. Sorry about that, a little bit of a technical issue. Um, but 20 photos need to be taken, ready for social media use in 5 hours. This is probably one of my most quickest turnarounds ever. Um, but we did photos of entertainment, daylight and darker settings, and also was managing like other event duties at the same time. It's pretty crazy. But majority of the time I was spent doing photography, posting Instagram stories, and handling digital content. Last but not least, a full production I did with Tasting Kawaii was for cooking classes. And so fully produced YouTube ready videos need to be made. We worked with 3 different clients and we used a gimbal and 3 different cameras. And one of them was actually improvisation, was my iPhone so that I could set up or sync up audio following the on-site stuff because it's just easier for me to do it that way. So I really learned how to be versatile and how to um, kind of adjust the day of. And so this was a really good experience. I wasn't the one mostly in charge, so I didn't do too much prior to, except for scripting and passing that script along to the client. That was the only thing I did prior. And then afterwards, I did not do any of the editing, but I did manage handoff and did photo editing for social media advertisements. So I hope you enjoyed. We should really work together sometimes. So join or visit that link down below. And thank you.